FragPunk just got 2 brand new updates and patches, which will also cover some additional mentions with the new mode. And yes, it is real. We finally have some real-world data on the servers. What's up, world? It's Utopia back again with another video. Today we're checking out all things FragPunk.
Let's just jump right into it. First off here, we have those patch notes, where we do have to cover the ones from March 31st. Again, these are always being labeled a hotfix. I know I keep saying it, but I would really like to see when we actually get a real patch. It will be quite cool to see the variants there. We do have that new update here, which is the FragPunk or FragPunk April Fool's Day event, which will start, again, it's FragPunk new arcade mode. You can either pick a frog or mosquito and eliminate all your enemies to win. FragPunk is available from April 1st all the way till April 29th. So this event will last quite long. There are a lot of free rewards to get in the main menu, so yeah, I would hopefully assume that you have plenty of time to do so. And again, yes, this event is very real. It's super fun. I played it a few times. Definitely worth to check out, and it does have some free rewards tied to it. With that though, there is a new store update and those brand new Lancer skins. So we have the FragPunk Extreme Lancer Skin Bundle. That's going to be available in the store on April 1st. I assume this one will last until April 29th or a little bit later. As they mention here, Corona and Circuit will transform into a frog and a mosquito for a goofy April Fool's showdown. And those skins are available to be purchased. Again, more than likely, if you have the Battle Pass, if you have the membership, you have tons of free currency to actually buy either of these skins. In fact, I have around 3,000 currency. I've never bought any from the store, aside from the membership and having the Battle Pass. So I can get one of these skins completely for free. They also did finally release that Groovy Knight Extreme Weapon Skin Bundle. Again, that is available today, and I do believe it probably will go to the 29th, or as long as this event is in place. Now, there was a comment on one of my recent videos, but this person actually deleted it. Not sure how accurate it is, but they said that the console version is going to come out April 30th. It seemed awfully weird that they made it exactly one day after this event. Not sure if that was something internal. Again, pure speculation. I just thought that was kind of odd. Hopefully, though, the console release does get to actually participate in this event. There was some bug fixes with this update, where they fixed an issue where the team voice channel could not be used during cross-region server matchmaking. Again, just fixing all the bugs there with the chat and the voice. Had a few issues there. I think they finally got those in place. Now, there was an April 1st special patch notes. As we can see here, there was some key updates where they claim to have added a new shard card called Frogify, instantly transforming all players into frogs. Or in order to get rid of the curse, you have to mimic the frog's croak 3 times. That's in public voice. There's also a new melee weapon, the Righteous Swatter, which can only be used by players that have transformed into frogs. And players defeated by this weapon have a chance to trigger a forced name change. The defeated player will be forcibly prefixed with the title, "Sorry Mom, I Love Frog." Although, as you kind of guessed, these are completely fake and just the April 1st patch notes. I think the card idea is really cool though, other than maybe the public voice stuff, as I'm sure not everybody would be able to participate in that. Although we do have the Let Them Hear You card, which makes it so their movement speed increases when you do talk louder. Maybe they could play into that. It would be really cool if this card was real. But yeah, unfortunately, these are just the April 1st Fool's patch notes. With the FragPunk event, I actually did cover this in my last video. Again, they had this in the content creator panel, which was the FragPunk content showdown. That was kind of where we learned and saw all the infograph. Wonder if it was dropped a bit early. It also went around with some leaks. There were certain leaks that came out with this image. Eventually, it made its way to the Thunderfire program, which is where I covered it since it basically was a public information or a public website that anybody can access. It does seem like they may have accidentally released that a bit early, but it was under the content showdown, so maybe we do get early stuff located and showcased in there. I'll be sure to showcase that and keep up to date with that in case we do have anything with the console updates. I assume they might let content creators know first. Which, speaking of the console update, we had another post here, essentially showcasing that you could potentially try to download it to your PlayStation. I covered this post a long time ago. However, nothing came to fruition with it, and we still have it on the Xbox platform that it's not available, and on the PlayStation platform, it's still release date to be determined and just announced, where you can only add it to your wish list. I don't think anything with that actually means anything. Essentially, it's just a bug with the PlayStation app, because again, the game did kind of get released or was going to be released on the console platform, and then it got delayed only a couple of days before launch. So I believe that's just a bug because of that. Again, I covered this in my last video, but there is actually a dev that participates on the subreddit. They talked that there is no delays there and that it will be released within 2 months. Again, still no official updates other than that. Speaking of the FragPunk update and those new bundle skins, actually kind of cool with the new mosquito skins. This one pertaining to Circuit. Apparently, it actually changes her skin color depending on which skin that you pick. I think that's kind of cool there overall, so a lot of these do have really dynamic purposes. Again, we're not sure if that's a bug or if that's intentional, But as someone mentioned here that they actually changed Corona into a frog, so more than likely this skin change seems fine and probably is just a play on with that, or at least is intended. The skins are very dynamic in this game and sometimes don't exactly represent exactly what the character is. I think a few times I actually got lost on which character I was playing against, but I like that they have such dynamic skins for the game and don't make a character look exactly like they do for their default. I like that they can make these very dynamic. That way they don't feel as limited when they do release cosmetics. Speaking of cosmetics, they did drop a full trailer for the Groovy Night bundle. Again, you can check all those out here. They have unique animations with the reload, inspect, as well as with eliminations. It is very, very unique for these weapon bundles. At least when they do them, they have a ton of custom animations with them. So pretty cool there overall for that bundle. We have one more official news here, where again, they did drop a new anti-cheat report, and they have banned an additional 2,105 players. They keep dropping these every week, and I love that they do so. I'm glad they keep releasing these. In fact, this is the fastest I've ever seen a game release an anti-cheat report. Usually it's once per month. This one has been once a week. I assume this is going to go coincide with the launch. Not sure if we'll get these every single week, as eventually this number should be dwindled quite significantly, as it was around 4,000 at one point, then 3,000, and now it is down to 2,000. So it does seem like it is becoming less and less of a problem, and cheaters are being reported banned and not playing anymore, or if they are, they seem to be getting banned so quickly that it's not even worth it. Usually that is what kind of essentially stops cheaters from cheating. If they get banned very, very fast, people will find it not worth it to even make a new account or even start up another one. That's why I think ban waves don't exactly work, or if they do, they should be very, very fast. If they're once every few weeks or months, that's just not enough deterrent. And hardware bans, all that stuff, IP bans, don't really work either because people can bypass those. So I think having ban waves happen very fast, or players get banned very fast, is the biggest deterrent there. Hopefully they keep up with that, and I'm assuming they will. We actually do have a community mentionable here. Now this is for the server tick rate. Again, this is not officially confirmed. A lot of players were worried that the tick rate wasn't as high as Valorant's. If you know, Valorant uses a very high tick rate at 124. I believe CSGO only uses 62. And Apex is down at like 20, same with Warzone. Those games have a very, very low tick rate, which is essentially the rate at which the server refreshes. The higher the tick rate, the more refreshes, meaning the better latency that players receive. So essentially when you shoot your weapon, you'll have better feedback there. This player doesn't exactly confirm officially, but it does showcase that TDM runs at 62 Hz, while Shard class, unranked and ranked runs at 124. Again, this is not officially confirmed here. This is just what this player is receiving, at least their analysis of it. Still really cool to see. It would be awesome to hear if they actually have a high tick rate like this. If they do, and this game does have a 124 Hz tick rate, they really should market this, as this is one of the highest tick rates in the gaming sphere. Again, Valorant is the only game I can think of that has a 124 Hz tick rate, and they use that as a heavy marketing tool. Most games are very, very low tick rates, including Warzone and Apex. Those are at 24, at least somewhere around that range. They are very low tick rates comparative. Overall, should about cover for today's video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and until the next one, deuces!